Right, Rock Addicts. This is DJ REM from Rock Addicts Radio, and I have John from the band Kings and Pieces on the line. How you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad.
Why don't you start by introducing yourself and the other members of the band that are not with us today, please?
It's myself. I'm John LaRose, and I play the bass guitar for the band, help songwrite, just backup vocals. The band's fronted by Jimmy Pecor. He also is our lead guitarist. The guy is amazing. And Louis Escalera, who's our rhythm guitarist. We're actually in transition right now. We just had a member, you're over there in Kalamazoo, we just had a member drop out of the band. He had to take care of other life's responsibilities, so we'll be picking up somebody new, but it's not slowing us down. We still got shows slated for just after the first of the year.
Very good. You guys going to be making it over this way, Battle Creek or anything?
Oh yeah, we got big plans. We've actually been finishing up our album, and that's what we've had most of our time wrapped up in. So we've kind of put all the booking and everything on hold until we get that straightened out. But we're looking at a release right about Christmas time with this album. It's going to be those 3 songs that I sent to you and 5 more.
Very cool. I look forward to those. I've been playing the tracks you sent on my show, and I've had real good response from the listeners. So.
Oh, great.
It's very cool. Before I forget, I also want to give a big, huge shout-out to Tatiana for hooking us up. She's pretty cool and amazing.
She is. She's a hell of a PR girl.
Yeah, she does a good job at what she does. So, how long has the band been around?
We've been together, the core unit, since about 2007. It actually was a culmination of a couple bands kind of converging at the same time. And kind of the best members stepped forward, but I was in a band, and we were trying to put together a band, and it really wasn't working out, so I started looking for some other guys, and happened to just meet Jimmy by chance, and it was kind of one of those meetings you run into somebody, and you hear a voice, and you're like, that's the voice, that's it, that's what I've been looking for. I mean, I've been jamming for probably 15 years before I met the guy, and once you heard him sing, you're like, that's it. We basically built a band around that. We've taken it down in Nashville, we've taken it all over, and got really great response. A lot of people really love the music. And, it's like anything, life's a roller coaster. You get your ups and you got your downs. We've had a few of those. But, here we are, and it's 2013 going on 2014. We're still going strong, still making music better than ever.
Very good. It sounds like you have, minus the one piece you just lost, you have all the pieces together, so that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. We're still on great terms with Kyle, our former drummer. He's a hell of a guy. And we've actually got a couple guys lined up who look to take the position. We're going to have one guy play a show with us after the first of the year. And we got another guy who's really interested in the spot, too. So between the 2 of them, we're hoping to fill the shoes of Kyle and keep the thing rolling.
Very good. What, can you talk about the shows that you have coming the first of the year?
Right now, the big one's going to be at Diesel Concert Lounge. It's in Chesterfield. We just set this up. This is the first one that we're really announcing. I've got some other ones in the works, but we don't have anything solid in the confirmations for those yet. And the details on the third are still coming in, but because like I said, it all kind of revolved around finding this extra member and being able to play the show. So
right.
I'll have the details up on our band Facebook as soon as possible. Just kind of let everybody know, because people have been dying to see us play. Last show we played was pretty much Riverfest. Up in St. Clair. We kind of play it every couple of years. They have a big show right on the river, a floating barge thing, and we went up there and played with Everclear and Tonic last summer. And so yeah, ever since then we've kind of been on hiatus, doing some writing, getting everything together. So we're hoping to get everybody out on the 3rd and have one hell of a show. It's also Jimmy's birthday that night, so we're hoping to make it a little special for him.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. So how often right now do you guys get together and practice?
At least once a week. At least once a week we get together and go over our set, and after that we pretty much right into writing constantly, and we'll be out of a song that we really like one month, and then by the next month we've got 3 new tunes written, so that song kind of goes back to the back burner. We always try to put our best foot forward. We're looking to get the best crowd response, get the people what they really like, and we went from writing kind of strictly commercial to now we're kind of writing more for ourselves, but also in a line that's really relatable to the fans.
Very good. And then, so you mentioned that, the album that's going to be coming out soon. What recording studio are you guys using for that?
It's a combination of 2 studios. The stuff that I sent you, we recorded with a guy named Rob Coates. I was in a studio down in Nashville, Tennessee, and this later of the songs that we're just finishing up now, we're recording with Kevin Wesley Williams out of West Mix Studios. He records in the Sound Shop, and that's on the east side of the state here in Michigan.
Okay, very nice. So this question's kind of for you. What kind of influences have you had in your life that got you into music and made you want to do something like this?
Well, I've always grown up on music. My dad actually, it was older music, the classics, Herman's Hermits, the Beatles, things like that. I really wasn't exposed to, Hendrix, Zeppelin, stuff like that until I got a bit older, but I was really drawn to bass-driven music. I mean, Clutch is probably one of my biggest influences just because I love the rhythmic bass. I love it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just got to be driving. And for me, that's where it's at. So, I mean, a lot of the Zeppelin stuff, too, that's really bass-driven. That's me. The rest of the guys, I mean, their influences range from, you name it. You could say something from the 60s, something to the 90s. We've really been heavily compared to the grunge stuff, and I will say Alice in Chains is a huge favorite of ours to the band.
They are by far my most favorite band from that era of that genre. God, Alice in Chains is amazing.
Yeah, I still find myself playing the Jar of Flies album quite a bit. Unplugged stuff. I really love it.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff. So for Kings and Pieces, how this keeping this band together and doing what you guys love, how has this worked for you? Have things came to you guys pretty easy, or has it been a rough road?
It's been a rough road. We've had a few instances where things just came really easy. For instance, when we moved to Nashville, we were voted like the top band of 2008, and literally within 3 months of us moving there. And then there's also, you reach this glass ceiling where you're sitting there in front of record execs and everything playing your stuff, and you're thinking, this is it, you're going to sign the paperwork, and then it doesn't happen. We've dealt with the letdown, we've dealt with a lot of that, a lot of fake promises, people saying they can do something for you and they really can't, and at the end of the day, you have to remind yourself, why do we do this? And it's because we love to do it. We love to make music. We love to see the people rock, and if things don't work out for us, so be it, but this has always been fun for us. It's never been, this is a full-time job, you're counting on this more than anything.
Right.
It's, so what I'm saying is the day that it stops being fun for us, we probably won't do it no more. But for now, this is our passion, this is our life, it's what we do. And it's the people that kind of feed us that energy back. And probably when you stop getting that energy back, you probably stop thinking twice about what you're doing.
Right. So speaking of energy, I always like to ask this. When you're up on stage and you guys start a track or you're playing a song and, the crowd starts singing along with you guys, I mean, how amazing is that feeling?
That is the ultimate, because you're putting out this energy. You're just giving everything you got out to the crowd. And when they give that energy back to you, I mean, you feel like you're 10 feet tall. I mean, you feel like an unstoppable force. You want to talk about a high that's like nothing you've felt. That's it right there. I mean, these people are there to see you. They're there to support you. They're singing along. They know the words. That's the greatest feeling. And you talk about guys just wanting to get back on stage. I need to get back on stage. I need to experience that again. That's what they're talking about right there. It's that feeling. And it's not so much a feeling of me or I, or this is all about, the individual. They're there for the group. They're there for the whole. And that's where it's at. You got to be 100% supportive of that.
Yeah, very good. So how did you guys come up with the name for the band? Where does that come from?
We went through several names. I mean, that's funny because naming a band, I think, is one of the hardest things you can do. It's hard enough to get 4 guys to agree on anything.
Yeah, right.
But actually, it was a twist on an old card game that it's actually Kings and Pieces. It's a card game, and I'd never heard of it. But our earlier guitarist at the time, he brought it up. So we got playing around with names. We just put a variation on that. We're like, we're the Kings. There's 4 of us. We're in Pieces. We all came from different bands at the time. Put us together, and this is who we are. And once that came about, we're like, that's it. That's our name. We're sticking with it.
Okay, very good. And where is a good place for people to go to find out more about the band? What social networking and websites do you guys use?
Probably the one to find out the most would be ReverbNation.com. You can just it's ReverbNation.com/Kings and Pieces. That's kind of like the crust of it all. I'll have everything there. But usually you can find out on Facebook too. We're really active on that. We try to be active with our Twitter and everything else. But the details, like I said, those would usually be right up on the Reverb Nation site.
Okay. And are you guys pretty good at responding to fans on Facebook?
Oh yeah, we're right there. We're usually within a day or so. Once in a while, one might fall through the cracks, but we always catch them.
Okay, very good. I always ask that because I know, just as a fan, if I post something on a band's page, and just the fact that they respond to me, that means a lot from a fan standpoint. So.
Well, from a band standpoint, I mean, when you get that crowd response, I mean, you're looking for that. You're looking for,
right.
You want to know what people think about it. And when you get that, yeah, you kind of like want to reach out to that person and say, hey, thanks for taking the time. It means a lot.
So, this question's for you. Okay. If I grabbed your iPod, your MP3 player, however you like to listen to music, what kind of stuff would I find you listening to right now?
Well, right now, actually, a little bit of Alice in Chains, Facelift.
Nice.
I've been listening to that during the last week. I've got some Neil Young. What else is on there right now? I'm definitely Led Zeppelin. I've got 1,000 Foot Krutch, Breaking Benjamin. I think there's more than that. I mean, I'm like I said, my tastes are all over the place, but that's kind of what I get into. I'll get burnt out on something, stop listening to it, go for an oldie or something. I'm taking a while to warm up to new music, I will say that.
Okay, very cool. So, how would you define success for the band?
Success for the band, I think, when we can get to a point in our careers where we can sustain ourselves fully through music, be out on tour probably at least 6 months out of the year, and living a somewhat comfortable lifestyle with it. That would be success for us. But like I said, right now we're still focused on the here and now. When that comes, it'll come, and I think there's not a doubt in our minds that it will. It's just we have to stay the course.
Right.
You have to remember where you came from. You remember the ups. You remember the downs. Don't get too excited. Just keep doing what we're doing, and things will work out.
Now, I was going to ask you. You mentioned that you guys moved to Nashville. So, what brought you back to Michigan?
We're a rock band in a country town. We were told at the time that's like pissing in the wind, but we actually had a lot of fun with it. We had a blast down there. Met a lot of people. But actually, what brought us back was that last showcase. We got in with a promotion company at the time and some manager type people, and played a huge show. Had a lot of record execs come out, and things just fell apart. We had a chance. We could have gone the Christian route with music, but at the time, we really didn't feel like we were living the Christian lifestyle.
Right.
Good choice of ours to go down that road. Would have felt like real hypocrites.
Right.
But what brought us back was we kind of felt we took it up to that glass ceiling. We took it as far as it could go. And we decided we've made all the connections we need to make down here, and there's nothing that we can't do from our home state at this point. So we moved back to be near our families and everything, and we're continuing to do what we do. But I will say this, it does suck not being able to go out and play a show downtown Nashville every other weekend like we used to. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I bet. But that was a very amazing experience you guys got to have.
Oh yeah, not just that, like we'd go out individually, just hang out on the night on the town. You never knew who you were going to run into. For instance, like Kyle, our former drummer, he's out, and all of a sudden he's sending me pictures. He's out with Sean Morgan from Cedar, and drinking together, having a night on the town. And at first you're like, there's no way, you're not out with him.
Right.
I'll send you a picture. That's just how I'm saying. I mean, it goes. You run into Kid Rock, you run into Sebastian Bach, you run into the guys from Three Doors Down. It's after a while, it just becomes like, this is just how it is,
Right. You never know who you're going to run into, but you're going to run into somebody, huh?
Yeah, it's a little big town. It's literally what they say. And a lot of times you're even hanging out with the country music guys, and some of those dudes are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a country music fan as well as a metalhead, so I'll have to agree with that.
Yeah, they're cool guys. I actually did some contract work with the guys from Rascal Flatts for a while. When I first moved down there, I had no idea who the Rascal Flatts were. I thought they were a baseball team.
That's funny.
The guy laughed at me, and we actually got to carry on pretty well after a while.
Very cool. Okay, so when you guys aren't practicing and recording and all that stuff, what do you guys do to relax? Anybody have any crazy hobbies they like to do?
Crazy hobbies? Not too crazy at all. I mean, I guess you get enough out of the rock style kind of life that when it comes to low key in it, not too much. I mean, I'm into cars myself. I like fixing up cars and restoring them and doing things like that when I've got the time. But it's like anything in life, you give a little bit of your time, you got to be able to follow up with it. So at this point in the game, I try to hold back and realize, where my energy is best spent.
Right, makes total sense. You got to focus on the important things for sure.
Oh yeah, but I would say as a whole, every member of this group's a pretty creative individual. Louis, he's one hell of a graphic designer, and Jimmy, like I said, he actually goes out and does quite a bit of solo stuff. He'll go out to acoustic shows and whatnot, and he fills the bill pretty well. People love him.
So obviously I haven't seen it yet, but what kind of route are you guys going with the cover for the album?
Well, the title of the album is called Lion's Share. And it's going to be, that's all, like I said, Louis, he's having his hand in that. Right now we've got a little, we got the typical kind of Kings and Pieces crest that we throw in most of our stuff with the lion, a couple skulls. It's going to be pretty cool. You guys are really going to dig it.
I look forward to seeing it, and if it's got skulls, that's badass. Gotta have skulls.
Oh yeah, sometimes you're like, it's overdone, it's a little cliche, but if it's done the right way,
exactly,
people really enjoy it.
So, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you guys at a live show you've done that you're willing to share?
Great. It's it all varies by the night. I mean, there's been tons of stuff that's happened, but not so much to us. I've seen other guys get their trailer stolen right from a gig. I've getting women flashing us. I mean, you name it. It's And I'll be honest with you, at this point in time, after you've played so many shows as a band together, and we joke about this together all the time, it's like one big night when you look back on it.
Right.
It does, it really does, and you have a really hard time differentiating, like, what happened on what night, and what night was that? It gets tough, and you even forget about shows you play, because a lot of times you go back and play the same venue, 7, 8 times. And was that in 08, or was that in 09? When did this happen to us, But I will say this, when we were living in Tennessee, 3 of the members of the band actually met, girlfriends down there, and actually we're still with them to this day. So it wasn't a whole bad experience as far as going down,
Right. Very good. So now it's time for the most important question of the interview, so I hope you're prepared.
All right, shoot.
Who in the band spends the most time in front of a mirror before a live show?
That would have been our former drummer, Kyle.
Nice.
Yeah. There's nothing to one guy in the band. Their image is everything. But, not knocking Kyle. He's got it. He'd get up there on stage. He's usually had it going. But, I will say this. Before we would play a show, you'd always have to check with the rest of the members of the band. Like, man, you ain't wearing nothing crazy, are you?
Right.
So we try to make sure we're at least all on the same page.
Very good. Well, you have to definitely make sure the drummer hears the interview so he can hear that.
Oh, he'll love it.
Hey, anything else you would like to tell everybody out here in this interview? Anything I haven't asked you want to make sure people know about Kings and Pieces?
Just that if you haven't heard us, check it out. You will not be disappointed. We're probably one of the most underrated bands that you've never heard of. I mean, we get us out there, and there's not a band we couldn't play with. And like I said, tell your friends, check it out, let them know. Well, the best is yet to come. When the album drops, I'll make sure to send you a copy, Spencer. That way you've got it and you can spin it and get it out there for them.
Oh yeah, I definitely look forward to that. Definitely will get. And the thing I do is once a band sends me, because I've played. I mean, you sent me 3 tracks and I've played them all. But what I like to do is when a band sends me their whole album, I'll kind of debut it on my show and I'll play the whole thing. So, and I'll do the same thing for you guys. So.
Great. Well, I will say the production value on the new stuff is just amazing. It's I would have to say it's our November Rain. Axl Rose spent all that time, 14 years writing a song, and it was his best work up to date. That's how we feel about this.
Right.
This is our baby. Yep.
Well, I definitely look forward to hearing it. And if you guys make it over the other side of the state, make sure you let me know you're heading this way.
Definitely will do, Spencer.
Okay, one last thing before I let you go. I would love a couple radio liners if you don't mind.
Okay.
So the first one, you can say, this is John from Kings and Pieces, and you're listening to RockAddictRadio.com.
All right. This is Johnny from Kings and Pieces, and you're listening to RockAddictRadio.com. And
then the second one, you can say the same thing, but say that you're listening to SmashRadio.com.
Okay, this is Johnny from Kings and Pieces, and you're listening to SmashRadio.com.
Just so you know, Smash Radio is actually our local Kalamazoo station that myself and I don't know if you've heard of, it probably hasn't made its way over, but there's a Smash Magazine is the name of the magazine. And
I've actually heard of it.
so, yeah, they distribute, so the owners of that are in collaboration with myself, and then the gentleman that runs the Kazoo music scene here in Kalamazoo, he's also part of that, and we've started this new station. We actually have a show on December 7th that we're doing at Planet Rock in Battle Creek, kind of like a radio station launch party kind of thing.
Okay.
So, and we have Pistol Day Parade coming to that, if you know those guys.
Oh yeah, they've got a great single out right now.
So those guys they're like kind of our headliner for the show.
Awesome.
But the other thing I was going to mention is, what was I going to mention? Oh, the other radio liner, that's what I was going for.
Gotcha.
So the last one I need will be just for myself, for my show. If you can just say, this is John from Kings and Pieces, and you're listening to DJ REM.
Okay, here we go. This is John from Kings and Pieces, and you're listening to DJ REM.
Okay, very cool. Well, continue to spin your tracks and follow you guys, and I wish you guys the best of luck. And please also make sure you tell everybody in the band I said hello.
I will, Spencer, and thanks for your time. Sorry the rest of them couldn't be here. Maybe down the road we can do this again. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, when it gets to, when the whole album drops, if you want to get everybody together and do it again, I'd be more than happy to.
Right on. Well, I'd love that. I'll keep in touch, and I'll let you know as soon as we get a date for the release. Like I said, should be right around first of the year.
Okay, sounds good, man.
All right, thank you, Spencer.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.